Hey Tubesters, it's back with another video. This I actually meant to share with y'all a little while ago. I think I've had it for probably about a week or two. It's basically a little fun game. It was inspired by MASH. Well, actually, it was inspired by an Instagram post of a magical witchy equivalent that they were inspired by MASH, and I kind of wanted to do my own little take on it. And so basically it's but however, even though it's a game, if you really wanted to, you could actually use it as, I want to say divination purposes, or to kind of, maybe better yet would be to help you make some decisions in your magical practice. So it's called Witch, and it's spelled the way that it's spelled today, W-I.T.C.H. And just like MASH, it's each letter is capitalized with a period afterwards, and they each symbolize, or it's basically an acronym, which each letter standing for a word that begins with the same letter, if that makes sense. I feel like I totally messed that up. But basically in MASH, it's supposed to be, as I know it, it's mansion, apartment, shack, and house. And so it's the same thing. They're places of residency, but they begin with the letters W-I-T-C-H individually. So the W is wagon, I is igloo, T is tent, and tent is basically, it can be like a camping tent, or it could be like those Native American tents like teepees and wigwams, things of that nature. C is cottage, and H is hut, and hut is basically supposed to be synonymous for shack. And I wanted to use, so the wagon, it's not your like red wagon that you pull on with the little handle. It's more of the Romany wagon. And if you don't know what Romany is, gypsy, it's just technically gypsy is a pejorative, so I don't use that word if I can help it. Yeah, so whenever I'm saying Romany, just think of gypsy, and it's pretty much the same thing. Yeah. Igloo, y'all know what an igloo is. Tent, cottage. So cottage is supposed to be referenced to like the woodland cottage, the witch's cottage. So that's what that is. And then, so that's kind of what that is. And then you move on to the names. Now these are supposed to be like craft names. So you can have fun and just come up with some stupid, funny craft names. Or if you're struggling with picking a craft name, maybe you have a few that you resonate with, you can put those down. And the ways that you could work that and the witch's residency, or the houses, the types of housing, is what I was talking about earlier. Those can be like your astral homes, where you can go to the astral realm, and that will be your magical house, so to speak. And if you find that igloo doesn't work for you, like you're never going to be interested in igloo, maybe you can come up with a different I word. So the next one is these the animals. So instead of numbers, I think, which is the typical one, we get animals, and these are to basically be your familiars or your magistellus. So you can put a list of them. I put down, oh, I didn't read you the names, so I put Birch Hunter, Augur Nightshade, Blue Dragon's Breath, Tristan Merryweather, and Ash Ravenclaw. Of course, since I'm a guy, I put more masculine-based names. And then for the animals, I put snake, owl, buffalo, toad, cat, koala, raccoon, and possum. Yeah, and so those can be, you can also put mythological creatures, especially if you're going to use this in the astral realm. The next one is tools. These are your modes of travel. This is kind of equivalent to like things like a car, or truck, or whatever else they mention in there. So the animals kind of take place of the number of children you would have if you were playing MASH. So the way I know it is that MASH was used kind of like the apple peel in the water, revealing the first initial of the female's lover. That's how I understood MASH to be. It was almost like a divination type of game, where it would let the female know. So like for the names, you would put down the names of the possible suitors that are, the bachelors that are asking for her hand in marriage. And you would put down mansion, apartment, shack, or house. And you put down the suitor names, and then you put down the numbers, which would symbolize the number of children you've had or would have with that suitor. And then you would put down the mode of travel, the type of vehicle that you would have. And then you would figure out what number, what sacred, divine number, chosen number that you would use to ticker off all the things to, in the last of each group would be your lifestyle. That's how I knew it. So that's kind of what I'm using here. So here we have broom, crystal, candle, mortar and pestle, shovel, cape, raven, and sword. And you can add different ones, add more, take away some of them. And basically this would be your mode of travel to the astral realm to access your astral home, whether it be the wagon or the cottage or whatever, to also access your Magistellus or familiar, whether it be the toad or the buffalo, and maybe you have it where it's almost like a password to access your home, and your password could be your craft name. Now the last thing I'm actually going to show you, it's how you get the number. I don't remember how it is you got the number for playing MASH, but to get the number here, you actually are to kind of go in like a meditative state. If you want to do this as more like a serious divination, figuring out your astral home type of situation, you'd want to go in a meditative state. If you're doing this just for fucking fun, you could just go until you stop. But basically, you start drawing a spiral right here. It doesn't matter if it's going to the left or going to the right. And you want to, I'll just use this pen. So you count the rings of the spiral, and the way that you do that is, so you go to where you begin, where the spiral begins, and you draw a line outward, okay? And then wherever that line crosses, that's what you count. That would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is saying that your sacred number is 5, and so then you would go when you're doing the first part, you do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So H would be crossed off. Then you do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wagon would be crossed off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tent would be crossed off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Igloo would be crossed off. So you would get the cottage. And actually, let's just actually go through this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that means cottage. And then for names, you would go through the names. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 1, 2, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. So my number was 5, as shown there, and my astral home will be a cottage. My like password to access the cottage, or just my craft name, would be Tristan Merriweather. Very interesting. My Magistellus would be the koala, and my mode of travel would be a cape. And so then that would kind of be where you put your end results right here. That was the number 5 I was talking about. And that's the little game of Witch that I kind of came up with and wanted to share with y'all. So I hope you like it. Let me know if you play it. Did you play just to have fun, or did you use it to kind of help you make some decisions and create like a little astral realm for yourself? Let me know in the comments below. And yeah, as always, thank you for watching. An abundant and eternal blessing.